Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Mehdi, founder of CloudSible, and today I'm here to share how Neo4j helped me to transform cloud cost management from scattered spreadsheet into connected intelligence. Back in 2022, I was invited by a friend to an event in Toronto. And my friend was happened to be working on LLM at the time being. So that event was hosted by Neo4j, and I had a chance to listen to Jim Weber, the chief scientist of Neo4j. And then he shared one sentence that stuck with me since then, that graphs can traverse millions of relationships in seconds. And I was thinking, on all the hierarchical data problems that I was wrestling with and how painful they were to manage those structures, and how leveraging graph can be a game changer. Prior to that event, I was working on an initiative to calculate the risk exposure of a set of companies that are belong to different holdings, and then how I could manage and each of those companies, they had a weighted relationship between another one. So basically it was a weighted tree problem set. And definitely I finished and delivered that solution, but it was time intensive and compute intensive, and it was painful to manage all those relationships in a table structure. And I was thinking that how, if I could model those relationships in Neo4j or in a graph, instead of taking hours to process, it would just take a few seconds. A little bit of myself, like I've been coding since 1997, the old good QBasic and GW basic era. Once I arrived in Montreal in 2013, I was working on a small payment processing company in Montreal that basically I was working on an initiative that we were processing the payment for Apple through Alibaba in China. Once we finished that project, it took us 3 months to receive the server from Dell and set it in our data center, and then deploy our solution and take that solution to the market. So that's why cloud came to the picture. And I've been helping so many companies and even the public sector to migrate their on-prem infrastructure to cloud. And one of the challenges that we have seen is, yes, cloud solves so many problems in terms of scalability, agility, faster go-to-market, and even nowadays AI enablement. But it has one main problem, was the variable cost. Now, in 2019, Linux Foundation created another foundation called FinOps Foundation to create best practices, framework, standards, working group, communities to help companies to maximize the value of their cloud investment. And throughout the year, they have conducted a bunch of surveys since 2020. And I'm just presenting the last 3 years of their top 5 challenges and priorities for different organizations. And as you can see, that the order is changing, but in each year, the top 5 challenges are around visibility, allocation, forecast, and optimization. These are the symptoms of disconnected data, and how graph can beautifully solve that problem. Let's dive into how cloud providers are structuring the information. This is just 3 examples of the 3 majors: GCP, Azure, and AWS. And as you can see, Google Cloud structured the resources in terms of organization, folders, projects, and then you have resources. And when you go to Microsoft Azure, they have tenant, 6 layers of management group, subscription, resource group, and then you have resources. And AWS has its own. But it doesn't stop here. The hierarchy goes to the business layers. So even the business operations are hierarchies. They have products, they have projects, they have applications, and each of them, they have their own environments. And even the organization structure, they have business units, division, departments, and they have teams and employees. Now, these two different tree structure, they need to connect and overlap, and they create a web of relationship between everything that is happening in one organization. Then we started modeling our FinOps data in Neo4j. And then what we saw was amazing. The result that we saw was amazing, that we were able to find hidden relationship between cost drivers, value drivers, and even the quality of the services that they provide to their customers. And also, a most interesting part was the forecasting, which is the top challenge in a bigger corporation in the world, that how much they are going to be paid next is always related to the relationship between the cost drivers, value drivers, and what is coming to their workload. And Graph can solve this problem beautifully. And now we can have more accurate forecasts on how much they are spending in the next billing round. That's how CloudSible was born. As I mentioned, I'm the founder, and so far we have connected our solution to Azure, AWS, GCP, DigitalOcean, and Snowflake, and makes sense of this cost infrastructure and connect it to the business portfolio and enable them to do to manage and control the cloud spending. And this is where actually Neo4j shines. We went from the black box of cloud infrastructure to visibility, which is creating a knowledge. And by doing the allocation, brings ownership and traceability. And by creating the recommendation, we enable them proactivity. And at the end of the day, we are able to quantify the business value of any initiative that the companies have in terms of cloud and cloud infrastructure. Now, I would like to mention that wherever I look, I can see that the hierarchies are there, and then Graph can make them intuitive. What does it mean? It means that, like, whether we are working on the infrastructure and the cost management of the cloud environment, we can leverage Graph and to make sense of all those relationships and connect them with the context and the cost. That's how we can make sense of all those the complexity of the cloud infrastructure. If these problems resonate with you, feel free to connect with me. I would love to connect with you and continue this conversation with you. I'm also offering a free assessment so that to show you how Graph technology can connect those infrastructure together and make sense of it, and show how you can take control of your cloud spending. So I'm gonna pause here for any questions.